On the News Express, NIMET predicts dust, haze, thunderstorms nationwide. Imo raises 100-man committee for Uzodinma's swearing in. FCTA demolish illegal structures at Abuja taxi parks. Supreme Court reverses sack of Plateau Governor Mufwan and dismisses APC's petition. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu on Friday sympathized with former President Goodluck Jonathan over the death of his sister, Obi Hatin Jonathan. Tinubu conveyed his condolence through a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, titled "President Tinubu condoles with Goodluck Jonathan over sister's passing." Obitan, fondly called Amisi, was a teacher, businesswoman, mother, and grandmother. According to Jonathan's media office, she died on Thursday, January 11, 2024, at the Federal Medical Center, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, after a brief illness at the age of 70. The federal government has backtracked on its decision to construct all federal roads using only rigid concrete pavement. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, disclosed the policy reversal during a meeting with all contractors at the ministry headquarters. This latest development comes several months after the minister directed all contractors handling federal government highways across the country to immediately dump the use of asphalt and adopt concrete technology. The announcement, which was met with stiff resistance from contractors, stalled the completion of several road projects, but Umahi, meeting with all contractors in Abuja, the third of its kind since the minister assumed office in August 2023, said the government didn't ban the use of asphalt, but was trying to cut down on its geometric pricing. He, however, gave a caveat that specific road projects will be constructed using concrete pavement. The National Judicial Council (NJC) has clarified that no date has yet been fixed for the swearing-in of the newly appointed 11 justices of the Supreme Court. The council said that the purported news by an Abuja-based media organization suggested Monday, January 16 for the inauguration of the justices did not emanate from it. A statement by the NJC's Director of Information, Barrister Soji Oye, clarified that neither the Chief Justice of the Federation, who is the NJC chairman, nor the council itself authored or endorsed the purported date. While asking members of the public to disregard the news, the NJC said that the date for the swearing-in for the justices would be made public at the appropriate time. The Supreme Court has affirmed Yusuf Abba Kabiru of the New Nigerian People's Party as the duly elected governor of Kano and dismissed the petition instituted against him by the All Progressive Congress, APC, and its governorship candidate, Nasir Yusuf Gawuna. The Apex Court on Friday reversed the judgment of the Court of Appeal and Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which nullified the election of the governor or miscarriage of justice. Justice John Iyang Okoro, who delivered the lead judgment, held that the law and natural justice were turned upside down by the two courts below to arrive at unjust and unfair decision. Justice Okoro, while voiding and setting aside judgment of the two lower courts, said the miscarriage of justice in the ways and manners the petition against the governor was handled was manifesting. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged his opponent during the 2023 governorship election to join him to develop Lagos State. Sanwo-Olu urged the Dole to join the progressive governance train, noting that he and his deputy, Kadri Hamzat, do not profess a monopoly of ideas. This is coming hours after the Supreme Court affirmed the election of Sanwo-Olu, which was earlier upheld by the Tribunal and Appeal Court in the state. The Labour Party candidate in the election, Gadebo Rhodes Vivo, had in his appeal claimed that Sanwo-Olu's running mate qualification of Bafemi Hamza had renounced his citizenship as a Nigerian. The court held that Sanwo-Olu's deputy is a Nigerian by birth adding that reunification of a citizenship of a citizen by birth must be registered by the Nigerian president, adding that the appellant did not provide any evidence to that effect. Also, Abdulaziz Adediran, popularly known as Jadon, who is the People's Democratic Party on his part, contended that the name Sanwo-Olu submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission was different from that contained in his WAEC certificate. The Apex Court, while dismissing appeal, described it as academic. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Dauda Lawal of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as Zamfara State Governor. The Apex Court set aside the decision of the Court of Appeal declaring the governorship election in Zamfara State inconclusive. The tribunal had dismissed the petition of the All Progressive Congress governorship candidate Bello Matawali challenging the victory of Dauda Lawal of the PDP. But at the appeal court, the court declared the election in the state inclusive and ordered a rerun in 3 local government areas, which are Marudun, Biring Magaji, and Bukuyum. The Supreme Court has reversed the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which in November last year removed Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State from office on ground of unlawful nomination. The Apex Court held that the Court of Appeal made fundamental error in allowing the All Progressive Congress APC to poke nose into the conduct of the primary election by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and nullified the election unjustly. Justice Emmanuel Akomaye Agim, who delivered the lead of the unanimous judgment, said that the issue of primary election was an internal affair of political parties and that no other party can dabble into it except members of the same party. Justice Agim further said that the issue of alleged improper conduct of the ward and local government elections used to sack the governor was not justifiable. The government of Imo State has revealed details about the second inauguration of Senator Hope Uzodinma as the governor of the state. In a briefing on Thursday on the event that would take place on January 15, 2024, the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba, said that the governor had set up a 100-member committee for the second-term inauguration. He stated that the 100-member committee was set up by Governor Uzodinma to oversee the success of the occasion. Emelumba also said dignitaries nationwide and beyond would be expected to grace the occasion, including Imolites who voted the governor en masse. NEMET's weather report has forecast moderate dust haze with reduced visibility and localized thunderstorms across the country on Friday. NEMET said that over the northern region and north-central states, the forecast includes a horizontal visibility range of 2 to 5 kilometers, posing potential risk for road and air travel. It emphasized the necessity for precautions in light of the suspended dust particles. It urged the general public that people with asthma and other respiratory issues should exercise caution and limit the outdoor exposure due to the present weather conditions. Additionally, NEMET stressed the need for proactive measures among airline operators, encouraging them to stay updated with the latest weather reports from NEMET to ensure effective operational planning. The Directorate of Road Transport Services of the Federal Capital Territory Administration has commenced the demolition of shops, eateries, and other illegal structures in taxi ranks across Abuja. The director of the DRTS, Abdul Latif Bello, following a meeting with transport stakeholders, hinted at the reclamation of all taxi ranks within the territory to make room for a unified mass transportation system in the FCT. Consequently, the department began the demolition of illegal structures at Area 3 and Banex Junction taxi ranks in Abuja on Friday. At the Area 3 taxi rank, the DTRS team, supported by security agencies, demolished a car wash, mechanic workshops, and a cinema house and eateries, among others, operating within the ranks. At the Banex Junction taxi rank, the taxis were not using the ranks as they had been taken over by miscreants who used the space to sell hard drugs, including adulterated fuel and diesel. Head of the operations DRTS, Mrs. Deborah Osho, who led the team, explained that the measure was to give room for more taxis to operate within the ranks. In a bid to get to the bottom of how humongous cash was moved from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to private hands, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has extended its probe to directors and other key officials of the ministry and its agencies. The top officials were summoned by the Anti-Graft Agency to meet face-to-face with the suspended minister, Betta Edo, the suspended coordinator of the National Social Intervention Program, Halima Shehu, and top bank officials whose votes were used to custodying the huge cash without reporting to the authorities in keeping with financial reporting protocols. They were invited based on the fact that some of those interviewed earlier mentioned some of them as having played one role or the other, and were summoned based on the determination to get off fat and arrive at a decision that will be fair to all parties. A human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has called on the Nigerian police to conduct proper investigations into the case of brutality against lawyers in Lagos State. Falana made the call during a peaceful protest organized by members of the Nigeria Bar Association, Lagos, against the unlawful arrest and detention of a lawyer, Olumide Sonupe, by the police in the state. The lawyers, who are members of about 5 branches of the NBA, marched from its Ikeja Secretariat while displaying banners to the command headquarters, where the State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayo-Ade, addressed them. This is coming hours after the Commissioner of Police had ordered the removal of the Divisional Police Officer of the Moshalashi Police Station, Austin Arase, who ordered Sonupe's detention. The Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, Federal Criminal Investigation Department, Alagbun, Lagos, Idowu Owuhunwa, has called for crucial utilization of forensic criminal data to carry out investigations. Owuhunwa made the call while briefing officers and men of the FCID on the current initiatives of the IG to reinstate the department as the leading investigative agency in accordance with the rule of law and professional excellence, making emphasis on the imperative use of intelligence-led tools to bolster investigations. The AIG cautioned detectives against resorting to custodial violence, calling on them to respect citizens' rights and maintain zero-tolerance stance on corruption and professional misconduct. You're watching News Express live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the News Express returns, Britain to increase Ukraine support to £2.5 billion. The news continues shortly with details of these and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of the News Express. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden's son Hunter has pleaded not guilty to tax offenses in a California federal court. He was indicted last month on 9 criminal counts, including for failing to pay his taxes on time from 2016 to 2019, filing false tax returns in 2018, and tax evasion. If convicted on these charges, Biden could face up to 17 years in prison. He is also facing federal charges over felony gun offenses, to which he has already pleaded not guilty. Biden, 53, made his first appearance in the tax case at a downtown Los Angeles courtroom on Thursday afternoon, where a sea of cameras had gathered outside and U.S. Secret Service officers had earlier conducted a security sweep. By passing the press through a rear entrance, he sat solemnly at the defense desk between his lawyers, then stood as his lawyer entered a no guilty plea on his behalf. The father of 4 agreed to be released without detention on several conditions, including that he cannot drink, consume drugs, maintain employment, or buy guns. If he violates the terms of his release, the judge warned that there would be an arrest warrant out for the president's son and he may be imprisoned. The UK will provide £2.5 billion of military aid to Ukraine over the coming year, Rishi Sunak has said, Britain's largest annual commitment since Russia's invasion. The Prime Minister made the announcement during a rare visit to the country, where he will also sign a new agreement supporting its long-term security. Officials said that the package will provide Ukraine with long-range missiles, air defense, and artillery shells. Some £200 million will be spent on drones, most of which will be UK-made. Officials said the military package for the next financial year, beginning in April, would result in the largest delivery of drones to Ukraine by any country. Significantly, the Prime Minister has decided not to make a financial commitment lasting several years. The judge in Donald Trump's New York fraud trial has withdrawn permission for the former U.S. president to give a closing argument as the case concludes. Trump stands accused of fraudulently inflating the value of his properties, and New York Attorney General Letitia James is seeking £370 million from him, as well as to have him barred from conducting business in the state. Donald Trump, the frontrunner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, and his 2 elder sons are accused of fraudulently inflating the value of real estate assets to receive more favorable bank loans and insurance terms. In business, despite recent efforts by the Central Bank of Nigeria to boost out the foreign exchange market through interventions, the currency's downward trend persists, prompting concerns about its potential impact on the broader economy. The depreciation of Nigeria's currency is despite the federal government receiving $2.25 billion foreign exchange support from the Afrexim Bank, as well as the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, offset of $61.64 million. Nigeria owed foreign airlines a check on the Nigerian foreign exchange market window, which showed that on the day the CBN announced it received the funds, December 29, the Naira was purchased at 898 Naira to $1 and sold at 899 Naira to $1. The price increased on January 2nd to 913 Naira per dollar. It further went up to 960 Naira 9 kobo to $1 by January 3rd. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security says it is not in charge of the distribution of 57.8 billion naira worth of food palliatives approved from members of the National Assembly by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for onward distribution to their constituents. The ministry's Director of Information, Joel Oruche, said in a statement, this is contrary to the claim by the presidency that the president, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, distributed rice and other food items as palliatives to lawmakers. The palliative was raising dust as constituents had accused their representatives of hoarding. The presidency had, while showcasing Tinubu's scorecard in palliative disbursement to Nigerians, said each senator got 200 million naira worth of palliatives and 100 million naira for each member of the House of Representatives. 21 days to the expiration of the Central Bank of Nigeria deadline for all bank customers to have bank verification number BVN, the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System registration data showed that over 60.2 million Nigerians are now have a BVN. This represents an increase of over 2.6% from 58.7 million BVN registrations as of September 12, 2023, before the Apex Bank's directive. According to the NIBBSS electronic payment fact sheet for 2021, the number of bank accounts in the country was 191.4 million, of which 57.9 million were inactive. According to Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access to Financial Services in Nigeria 2023 survey report, 5% of banked adults do not have BVN or NIN. As we end Global TV News Express, here is a recap of some of our top stories. NIMET predicted dust, haze and thunderstorms nationwide. Imo raises 100-man committee for Uzodinma swearing in. FCTA demolished illegal structures at Abuja taxi parks. And the Supreme Court reversed the sack of Plateau Governor Mufwan and dismisses APC's petition. That's it on the News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're at Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodi saying thank you for watching and see you again.